Welcome to Nowadays. We are going to have a look on today's news relevant for various competitive exams. Subscribe our channel for daily news and don't forget to click on bell icon. The first news is about Armed Force Special Power Act prevailing in Nagaland. The center has declared the entire state of Nagaland a disturbed area for 6 more months under the controversial AFSPA. It empowers security force to conduct operation anywhere and arrest anyone without notice. AMDA Force Special Power Act is an act of parliament that grants special power to Indian Armed Force and the state and paramilitary force in areas classified as disturbed areas. It gives powers to army, state and central police force to shoot, to kill, search houses and destroy any property that is likely to be used by insurgents in areas declared as disturbed by the Home Ministry. AFSPA is invoked when a case of militancy or insurgency take place and the territorial integrity of India is at risk. Security force can arrest a person without warrant who has committed or even about to commit a cognizable offense, even based on reasonable suspicion. It also provides security force with legal immunity for their actions in disturbed areas. The source is The Hindu. The next news is about Sanjay Jal Bahtar Khal campaign. Rolling out its water conservation plan under the Jal Shakti Abhiyan, the center said it would focus its time-bound mission mode campaign on 1,592 water-stressed blocks in 257 districts. They campaigned for rainwater harvesting and water conservation. The plan would rely largely on mass awareness programs. It would also involve focused implementation and convergence of existing water conservation schemes under the NREGS Integrated Watershed Management Program and Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana Per Drop More Crop Program. The 5 targeted interventions would include water conservation and rainwater harvesting, renovation of traditional and other water bodies or tanks, reuse and borewell recharge structure, watershed management, and intense afforestation. Why such a move? India's water availability is estimated to decline to 1,341 cubic meter per capita per year by 2025. But there are also examples of states such as Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gujarat and others that have undertaken efforts to resolve it. The United Nations, under its Sustainable Development Goals, expects all countries to provide clean drinking water to every household by 2030. At present, only 8% of the total rainwater in the country is harvested. The source is the Indian Express. The next news is about National Electricity Distribution Company. The government plans to set up a National Electricity Distribution Company as an equal joint venture between the state-run NTPC Limited and Power Grid Corporation of India Limited. It will undertake electricity distribution by forming joint ventures with state-owned discoms and help bridge market and credit risk at a time when the state discoms are struggling because of losses and debt. The objectives of NEDC are to act as a model discom, thereby improving efficiency and helping resolve the issue of rising non-performing asset in the power sector. NEDC will not only act as a nodal agency for implementing the union government scheme in the distribution sector, but also serve as an implementation agency for the state discoms. It will act as the beachhead for introducing distribution sector reforms and help bring new technology including smart grids, big data and analytics into fund-starved discoms. How it works. NEDC will have to seek license from the respective state electricity regulatory commissions. The process will be tedious and unfeasible as this will create a adversarial relationship with the state discoms. Plan is to form joint venture with existing discom, thus leveraging the experience of state-run firms such as NTPC and Power Grid Corporation of India Limited to improve efficiency in areas such as system and network operations, asset management and operation and maintenance. What are the benefits? Better functioning of state discoms will help reduce overall transmission and commercial losses and help meet the increased power demand due to electricity connection provided to rural and urban households under the Saubhagya scheme. It will help expedite the plan to separate the carriage and content operations of discoms, letting people and companies in India buy electricity from a firm of their choice. The source is Live Mint. The next news is about the impact of climate change. The Ganga Lake, which supplies water to Nagpur, has dried up for the first time in 49 years. The lake is situated on the northwest corner of Nagpur city. It was built during the colonial era. The source is The Hindu. The next news is about an innovative idea, an app to track your carbon footprint. CM Devendra Fadnavis on Monday announced that the state government will now track citizens' carbon footprint through an app and to reward those who achieve an emission neutral status. It is focused to reduce pollution and carbon emission in Maharashtra. The state forest department is developing the app which will be able to count the everyday carbon emission of a citizen and suggest measures to reduce it depending on the count. Citizens would be awarded a certificate and tax rebate once they achieve a neutral status. The idea of the app was initiated after Prime Minister Narendra Modi promised international organizations to bring India's pollution level to 2005 levels by 2030. The PM has also announced India's aim to generate 175 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2022, of which 100 gigawatt is to be solar. The footprint of an individual will include his use of electricity, air conditioning, kitchen activities, and among others. India has promised to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 20% to 25% as per the Paris Summit. The source is The Hindu. The next news is about INS Virat. Over 2 years after it was decommissioned from service, aircraft carrier INS Virat is going to be scrapped. INS Virat could not be handed over to any state government because of non-receipt of self-sustaining financially complete proposal. Thus, in a view of consideration of safety, security, etc., a decision to scrap INS Virat has been taken in due consultation with Indian Navy. The Navy has been incurring expenditure on its upkeep on service such as provision of electricity and water and repair till date. INS Virat is a Centaur class aircraft carrier and it was commissioned in May 1987. The source is The Hindu. The next is about Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Bill. Recently, Rajya Sabha has passed the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Bill. Passed by the Lok Sabha last week, the bill partially amended a presidential order of 1954 in order to amend the States Reservation Act. The bill amends the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Act 2004 and replaces an ordinance promulgated on March 1, 2019. It defines socially and educationally backward classes to include persons living in areas adjoining the actual line of control. Amendments to the bill includes: with the constitutional amendment, the benefit of reservation available to the residents along the line of actual control have been extended to residents living along the international borders. This benefit residents in Jammu, Samba and Kathua. Through the presidential order, the cabinet applied the 77th constitutional amendment of 1995 to Jammu and Kashmir, giving benefits of reservation in promotion to SCs and STs in government service. The cabinet also applied the 103rd constitutional amendment of 2019 to Jammu and Kashmir, which gave 10% reservation to economically weaker sections among people in the general category. The source is The Hindu. The next news is about Scheme for Transdisciplinary Research for India's Developing Economy, STRIDE. The UGC has approved a new scheme called STRIDE. It is to strengthen research, culture and innovation in colleges and universities. An advisory committee has been set up by the UGC under the chairmanship of Professor Bhushan Padwardhan, Vice Chairman, to oversee the entire scheme. STRIDE has three components. First one is it will endeavor to identify the motivated young talents with research and innovation aptitude in universities and colleges. This component is open to all disciplines for grant up to 1 crore. The second component is it will encourage collaboration between universities, government, voluntary organizations and industries. This component is open to all disciplines for grant up to 50 lakhs to 1 crore. Third component is it will fund high impact research projects in humanities through national network of eminent scientists from leading institutions. Grant available for this component is up to 1 crore for one higher education institution and up to 5 crore for multi-institutional network. The source is PIB. Next is about Iran nuclear deal. Iran has exceeded the 300 kilogram limit on its enriched uranium reserves set by 2015 nuclear deal. Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif has said that the country has exceeded the 300 kilogram limit on its enriched uranium reserve set by 2015 nuclear deal. This was confirmed by the International Atomic Energy Agency inspectors. Iran also announced that it is planning to suspend other commitments under the deal in 10 days unless European power took steps to implement their new mechanism INSTEX for facilitating trade. Under the Iranian nuclear deal, Iran had agreed to limit its sensitive nuclear activities and allow in international inspectors in return for the lifting of sanctions. Iran can stockpile no more than 300 kg of low-enriched uranium. It is only permitted to produce low-enriched uranium which has a 3 to 4% concentration of uranium-235 and can fuel a power plant. Enriched uranium is widely used for peaceful purposes such as medical research and producing electricity. But if it is highly purified, it can also be used to make nuclear bombs. What is INSTEX? It is a mechanism essentially allow goods to be bartered between Iranian and foreign companies without direct financial transaction. It became operational recently, but according to Iran, it did not meet country's need. The source is The Hindu. The next news is about Ayush Grid project. The Ministries of Ayush and Electronics and Information Technology signed a memorandum of understanding in New Delhi to collaborate on the digitization of the Ayush sector. The Electronics and Information Technology Ministry has agreed to give technical support to the Ayush Ministry for planning and development of Ayush Grid project. In pursuance to the National Health Policy 2017, the project aimed to digitize the entire Ayush, leading to transformation in the field of healthcare delivery at all levels, along with greater research, education, delivery of various healthcare programs, and better drug regulations. Ministry of Information and Technology has taken various health initiatives such as e-hospital, e-aushati, e-rakt kosh, online registration system, and e-shushruth for digitizing the internal workflows and process of hospitals across the country. Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has also launched an online information guide called Vigaspedia, a portal for the various social sector including health, and it offers information in 23 languages. The source is All India Radio. The next news is about High-Powered Committee of Chief Ministers for Transformation of Indian Agriculture. The Prime Minister of India has set up a high-powered committee of Chief Ministers for transformation of Indian agriculture. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis is the convener of the committee. Members include CMs of Karnataka, Haryana, Arunachal Pradesh, Gujarat, UP, Madhya Pradesh, and Union Ministers of Agriculture, Research and Development, and Panchayati Raj to be the members. The committee will be serviced by Niti Aayog. The committee will submit its report within 2 months of the date of notification of the committee. The terms of reference of the committee includes to discuss measures for transformation of agriculture and raising farmers' income, to suggest modalities for adoption and time-bound implementation of agriculture sector reforms by states or union territories, to suggest changes in the Essential Commodity Act 1955 to attract private investment in agricultural marketing and infrastructure, to suggest mechanism for linking of market reforms with ENAM, GRAM and other relevant central sponsored schemes. The source is PIP. Thanks for watching. The PDF of detailed news is given in description. Subscribe our channel for daily news and don't forget to hit the bell icon. See you tomorrow.